Welcome Scorpio to your November 2019 reading. I'm Jenny Florence. Happy birthday, guys. This is your time of the year. I'm actually recording this on the 30th of October. 2 days ago we had your new moon and the energy of that is still around, guys. So a perfect time for you, above and beyond any other sign, to be setting your intentions for the coming year. You've got a massive input of sort of source energy coming in from the sun as well. So powerful times. And of course your new moon had the planet of Uranus directly opposite, the great awakener, the bringing of changes, the clearing away of the old to make way for the new, sometimes with great disruption, I would say. So guys, welcome back to anyone who is already following my readings, anyone who's part of this wonderful community that we are building. You know, the AZ Emotional Health YouTube channel. My channel is, guys, you're just amazing. The feedback you give each other, sharing of your journey, your insights, your wisdom. It's been such a privilege to be doing these readings. I've been reading cards for forever, really, but I've only just recently started putting them onto YouTube. So those of you that are following already, a huge thank you. Subscribing really supports and helps me to continue with this work. Guys, if you're new to my channel and new to my readings, do check out the information box below. I do an awful lot of free stuff. I offer one of my subscribers a free private reading each month as well. So if you want to know how to be in the running for that, just check out the information below. So guys, we're going to be drawing runes first, then astrology cards is what I'm hearing, and then we'll be working with this tarot and actually various other packs, because this is a big monthly reading. I also do readings each week for weekly guidance and direction, and usually post them on a Sunday, so if you're new to the channel, again, watch out for those. Okay, just lean into the energy of the runes for Scorpio. Okay guys, powerful rune to be beginning with, the blank rune. This is the rune of new possibilities. It's like, it's the unknowable future. It's a rune of gestation. It's a rune of, its energy and power is, it's almost like the source of creation. It's very appropriate given that this is Scorpio season. Very appropriate, and especially with the very powerful new moon that we have just had. Let's check out. Okay, our next rune, we have the rune of the self. So guys, this speaks of periods of major growth and rectification. It speaks of being humble, of living an ordinary life in a non-ordinary way. It's like being your most brilliant self, but quietly. Travelling through your lives, doing everything to the absolute best of your ability, whether you are, you know, hanging the washing on the line or, you know, performing brain surgery. It's kind of literally whatever you do it to, yeah, literally you give it your all. But it is very much about every aspect of your life. It's about right action flowing through you. Very pure and spiritual connection with this rune. Okay, now we have two more. We have the rune of movement. I'll make sure we can see these. And the rune of disruption. Now this is really interesting because the rune of movement speaks of the bettering of any situation. Sometimes it literally does mean moving from new dwelling places, new horizons, new literally physical changes in your sort of immediate world. But one way or the other, it speaks of slow progress and the emergence and the movement of any situation getting better, improving and evolving into a new stage of being, which given these two runes to start with is a pretty powerful beginning. The rune of disruption is really interesting because this is a rune of liberation, of freedom. It's like there's a need or an urge to break free. Interestingly enough, this connects in with Uranus, the planet of the Great Awakener. Disruption has the same kind of energy. You might be finding, guys, that plans are not running smoothly. That's typical of this time of year, given that we also have a Mercury retrograde at the same time. Mercury goes into retrograde on the 31st of October, literally, I was going to say in a couple of days, but literally tomorrow, and will remain in a retrograde position until around the 20th. Now, it's interesting because I'm a great believer that when Mercury is in retrograde, although things don't run smoothly, there's purpose to it. We are often being called to course correct, to see a situation differently, to stand back, to notice if the past is influencing our present in a way that is no longer appropriate. So there's usually, I think, purpose, and I think it's helpful to understand the retrogrades as opportunities rather than hindrances. So something is going to move forwards for the better, but it may come in unexpected ways. Let's place those up here, and then we will draw from the astrology pack first. Wow, guys, we have the energy of Mars, force. That's a pretty powerful card to be beginning this reading and beginning your new solar year. Oh, wow, but this is fabulous to have force and to have desire next to it. A lot of energy here, guys. Very powerful energy. And we have one more card. Chiron, healing. Okay. This is an interesting collaboration here, actually. So I'm working out where to place this. I sort of feel I want to put it at this end of the reading here. And we'll now draw some cards from this tarot pack. I'm kind of hearing a message, but I'm wanting to just gain some greater clarity. I feel as though there's a connection here to relationship and to your ability to create healing within relationships. It connects to trying to push for something rather than allowing it to unfold. That's what I'm kind of hearing. And hence I think this rune of disruption. You're being requested to allow something to unfold rather than trying to make it happen. But also not to lose sight of your desires either. You know, there's passion underneath the surface here, and I can actually feel that. It's kind of like it within my heart. It's like there's a real driving energy here. Let's ask for greater clarity here. Okay. I'm going to move these. I think we're still in camera. Yes, we are. We can probably move that along a little bit here. We're going to draw a lot of cards, so I kind of want to rearrange to make sure that we're going to be able to see everything that we draw out. So guys, we have the card of the moon, and we also have the Page of Pentacles. Now the moon is like a rite of passage. You're needing to dig deep, or you may not be needing to dig deep. It may be that the universe is, I want to say, digging deep for you. You know how sometimes stuff just happens and it causes us to have to look at the unconscious stuff that sits within us. There's a flavour of that very much around your wonderful new moon that was there on Monday the 28th. With that element of disruption, the Great Awakener, the collaboration of those energies would suggest that, you know, we are being asked to look at anything, not only our desires, the things we wish to manifest and bring into our world, but also anything that may be hindering us, any patterns of behaviour that are, or situations around us. That's what I'm hearing. It's situations around. It's interesting, actually, the need to break free, the Great Awakener. The moon also says that you may be experiencing disruption, yearnings, a travelling inwards to the unconscious. It is, again, a need to break free from something, a rite of passage, a need to move forwards. So there's some kind of a calling for you in some way. There's a lot of promise attached to this. It's as though there is something new, and there's the potential for something. Again, we have this wonderful blank rune that speaks of the unknowable future. Guys, I'm really going to say, I think some of you are, it's like you have an urge to change something. That's what the energy is here. You really wish to change something, and you are needing to make changes. But I don't know if you are quite sure how to go about that, or maybe you're trying to make something happen, and really this is an invitation to allow it to unfold. Hold fast to your desires, but allow something to emerge. Allow the universe to give you the direction. It's almost as though some of you, I think, are trying to make something happen, and it is in itself sort of causing some disruption. Sometimes we need to let something sort of, there's a journey to be travelled on to get there. We can't just jump from A to B. But there's a huge amount of promise here, a huge amount of promise offered. Okay, so something has to be let go of. You are needing to travel into the, almost like the underworld, into your unconscious. I think something within you is blocking you, actually. I don't know what that is, and we'll draw clarifying cards to find out, a little bit more about what that's about. But you are needing to travel inwards. Rather than seeing the problem as being external, you're being asked to travel inwards. I'm really reminded, actually, it's a passage I read in a book, and it was, they were talking about manifestation, and they said, in the Western world, we tend to see external circumstances as a problem for us if things go wrong or don't run smoothly. Back to the Mercury retrograde kind of energy that is very much around. We're in the shadow, and we're heading straight into that tomorrow. But in this book, they spoke about a more shamanic approach, and they spoke about the shamanic approach as being, if, for example, a hunter was unable to find the game that he needed to bring in the food for his family, for his tribe, he wouldn't ever consider the possibility that there was no game out there. He would actually go and see a shaman, and he and the shaman would work together. They would travel inwards to find out what it was within the hunter that was blocking his ability to attract and to connect to the game that was out there. It would never occur to them from their perspective that the problem was external. They would only travel inwards. And that's the energy that I'm getting. You're needing to travel inwards to see what is blocking you or holding you back from being able to manifest that which you desire. And that's where the healing comes in, guys, as well. There is a healing process. You are being asked to rebalance yourselves, okay? There's a definite need to rebalance, to evaluate, to weigh up. Okay, decisions need to be made, guys, actually. We'll be drawing one more card from this pack. You're needing to make decisions, and I want to say, interestingly enough, I think as the month progresses, I think you are in a position to move forwards. Whatever the disruptions, the message that's very clear here is that disruptions for you this month are carrying a purpose. If you allow yourself to sort of collaborate with the energy, then you can work with it. You can evaluate, you can take stock, you can gain a greater clarity, but you do need to balance things. Something maybe is out of balance as well. For some of you, it may be that your life work situation is out of balance. You've been trying to push something forwards and you're so involved in it that you're not keeping the balance in terms of, you know, literally your life-work balance. Some of you may just be working too hard with such a determination and such a desire that it's neglecting another part of your life. One way or the other, you are being asked to rebalance, and the rebalancing comes within you. The Three of Pentacles sometimes suggests that energy, resources come to you in order to move something forwards. So I'm going to say that you may even find that the disruptions actually are enabling you to receive something that you need in order to rebalance. That clears your energy, it clears the way for you to begin to move forwards again. This is a lovely energy here. We have the Knight of Cups. This feels like gifts coming into you in some way. I mean, I guess, you know, guys, it's your birthday month, but it really does feel as though resources start to emerge. It may be that you've been struggling with something for a while. You've been struggling to birth something into the world, or to initiate some aspect of your lives, to renew some aspect. This is a really good month to do that. What I would say is, it's not a month to try and make it happen, it's a month to allow it to happen. And that's the difference. By focusing within yourself, this is a lovely rune, the energy of this is really coming through again. This speaks of living through right action. The more that we align ourselves to a pathway that is true to ourselves, honourable, everything starts to sort of align with us. It's connecting very much into the law of attraction here. So the more that we clear any resistances within ourselves, the more we align ourselves, the more we balance ourselves, the more life itself will operate for us. And I think we are being asked here to really hear that message that it's very much about allowing things to evolve and to emerge rather than trying to make it happen. But you are restless. You're desiring change. You want something to change. But there is, as I said, there's a travelling inwards, a letting go. And it may be letting go. In fact, there's, again, a really clear message coming through here. When we're involved in manifestation, we have to sort of create this balance between holding our intentions and our desires with a clarity, and yet at the same time remaining unattached to them, unattached to the outcome. If we hold too firmly to a fixed ideal or goal, then the universe can't bring us kind of what we need rather than what we want. Sometimes we can inadvertently block ourselves from receiving what we want. It's almost as though we've worked out our direction, we've worked out our goal. Let's say we decide we're going to move house. We see a house we like, and with a determination we go for it. Actually, that might not be the best house for us, but we think it is. So we doggedly hold on to it, and we're so fixed that we're not open to seeing other opportunities, other possibilities, even though there is a much better house just around the corner and the universe is trying to steer us in that direction. But we don't even see those pathways, those openings, because we're so fixed. And there's something of that flavour to this reading, guys. So I really want you to relax into your month. Chill out, enjoy yourselves, treasure the disruptions, treasure your experiences, your yearnings, your desire for liberation and freedom, your need to break free from something, your need to move forwards. Treasure every inclination that you have as something to be taken seriously. Our desires, our yearnings are important, but allow them to emerge. I would almost, sometimes I talk to people about creating a vision board. I would actually say, I would almost use the entire month as an opportunity Let's use Scorpio season as an opportunity to create a vision board where it's almost like every day you allow something else to emerge, and you might even have a picture that you started with, an image at the beginning of the month that by the end, actually that's not relevant to you anymore, you've changed. But it's kind of, and you put another picture over the top of it, but it's this allowance of your desires to be heard, taken seriously, any wounds that need to be healing, anything that surfaces that is no longer serving you, let it go. You know, travel into the unconscious, get into a space of dream time. Very powerful energy here, guys, very powerful. I was going to use a second tarot pack, but actually I'm going to draw from the Art of Manifestation cards to see what energy they bring up for you. Okay, guys. First of all, we have a card of unhappiness, which is interesting, followed by a card that says walk your talk. So these cards carry a message, they offer very clear direction and guidance. So this is the card of unhappiness. I'm going to read it to you in just a moment. And this is the card of walk your talk. This is about being authentic, making sure your actions, that you follow through. Unhappiness, I'll read it. Unhappiness is frequently the result of an inability to live in alignment with the calling of our soul. When this happens, our uneasy and challenging emotions are an indication that we need to listen to ourselves. This card asks you to have faith and to trust. Get still, meditate, listen to the voice of your heart, and open yourself to receive guidance. I don't think I could have picked a card, or a card could have presented itself that doesn't somehow consolidate everything that I'm hearing in the other part of the reading. Take your yearnings seriously, get still, listen to your emotions. If you're unhappy about something, take them seriously. Something is needing to change, and you do need to take yourself seriously. You are also called to take action, but not in a pushing something forward way. You're being asked to take action in terms, again, of this rune of the self. Walk your talk, do as you say. Become what you believe. So this is the card I will read now. Become what you believe. Are your thoughts, words and actions in alignment with your core inner values? This card asks you to walk your talk, become your own personal hero or heroine, and step into the very best version of yourself, radiating authenticity into the world. Take yourself seriously, guys. Let go of any masks that you currently wear. Any obligation to be anything that you feel you have to be. Literally, be yourself. Back your words up with actions. But again, it's this systematic, live an ordinary life in an extraordinary way. Be your authentic self. Be the best version of yourself. We then have the card of expectation. Expectation is a form of memory. Our past experiences colour our expectations of future circumstances and outcomes. You are asked to release any form of negative expectations based on past experiences and centre yourself in the infinite possibility of now. So let's talk through that. Hopefully that's registered. It's quite clear in a way. But, you know, if you have a negative or challenging experience, it does colour your expectations, there's no doubt about it. If someone has hurt you, for example, you're going to enter a new relationship with trepidation. If you have a car accident, you're going to be nervous the first time you drive again. You're going to be on the lookout for something. Expectations are based to a very great extent. Our perception of what may happen is based on our past experiences. You are asked to really release any form of negative expectations that connect you to the past. Get present, get still. This is where I think also this card of force comes in. Sometimes we try to make things happen in a particular way because we're anxious about the possible outcome, and again that can go back to a past experience. You're being asked to heal those aspects of yourself that are still tangled in the past. free yourself and allow yourself to let go. Travel into the unconscious, travel into the depths. You know, guys, we can almost always, if we take some time to meditate, identify where something has come from. And even if we can't identify exactly where it's come from, we can still let it go. It's quite interesting. I'm sort of seeing a pathway travelling way back, a long way back. I'm going to say that I think some of you will know where these expectations come from. I think for some of you they're inherited. You know, we literally inherit, we know that we can inherit trauma at a genetic level, at a cellular level. We can find ourselves reacting in certain ways, seeing things through a certain lens, and it's actually to do with sort of family history, family inheritance. Each of us has an opportunity to heal that wound for the previous generations, to choose to do something differently, to choose to see things differently. It's one of the extraordinary gifts we have in moving into higher levels of consciousness. We can actually address a family issue, an inherited issue that can go back generations. And we can choose just to address that by doing something differently ourselves, by aligning our own energy, by making sure that we no longer live through the lens of the past or wear any roles that are sort of dictated by past experiences or even past family systems that no longer work and serve for us. Hold your desires, guys. Be the best version of you, literally. Step up into the best version of you. Okay. Yeah, guys, we have a wonderful card here of opportunity. Stunning card, stunning energy for you. It's your birthday. That's that time of the month for you guys. It's awesome. Time of the year, rather. This card speaks of new opportunities, although they may not necessarily come in the form that you were expecting. Be alert. Look beyond the obvious. Be prepared for opportunities disguised as loss. If a new pathway opens for you, trust that it is leading you in the direction that you are meant to go. Very powerful, guys. Trust. Lean into the trust. Be open. If a pathway or a doorway presents itself, even if it's through disruption, trust that it is there to show you the pathway or a new opportunity, a new possibility. This is heavenly, this reading. Absolutely gorgeous. I love this card now. It's one of my favourite cards of all time. Say yes. What are you waiting for? The answer to your question is yes. Okay, guys, whatever uncertainty you have had around you, I'm just going to move our cards along so we're really nicely balanced out here. So we're just going to draw a couple more as well. But yes, the answer is yes. I think as you travel through the month, I do think opportunities are going to present themselves. In fact, quite a lot of potential opportunities. Don't be reticent. Don't allow your past to hold you back. Walk through the doorway, check it out. You know, whenever we try anything new on a pathway to our desire, we are stepping into some aspect of uncertainty because we can't know how anything will ever be until we get there. But literally go for it. Seize opportunities. Don't allow anything to hold you back. You have a yearning, a restlessness in you, a need to break free from something. The answer is absolutely yes. You are really being given like a go-ahead message here. The key, of course, is just keeping in that space of humbleness, of opportunity, of awareness, availability to see any signs, signals that are given to you, keeping yourself balanced at all time. These are new opportunities coming your way. So guys, I'm going to draw from the Moonology cards just to probably wrap up this reading, I think. Let's... Ooh. Okay. Balance, spirituality and practicality. Beautiful energy for this reading because you are asked to keep centered from a spiritual perspective. Keep yourself aligned with a greater universal consciousness. This is leaning into the trust. But also take action as you are offered opportunities. If a doorway opens, walk through it. Be practical, take action as well, walk your talk. It's no good just sitting there and thinking spiritual thoughts. We need to also be that person. We have a second card. What do you need to release? Very lovely energy here. Again, this is a real rubber stamping. Just notice, guys, whatever it is that you are needing to release, any blocks to your ability to seize the moment, to say yes to yourself or yes to anyone else or yes to opportunity, release them. They go back a long way. That's what I'm really hearing. Some of you literally will have some kind of responses and you may not really even be able to identify where they come from. Some of you will know. You'll recognise aspects of your journey so far that have led you to kind of block yourself to opportunities. And that's fine. When we identify them, it's easier for us to put them down. It's very hard to put stuff down if we can't identify it. But we can actually do that because we can talk ourselves through the fact that if a response is on autopilot and it doesn't work for us, as long as we identify the response, we can still change it. We don't necessarily need to know where it's come from. And to my mind, the sort of epigenetic research into sort of trauma being inherited has really opened up so many windows of understanding that really help us to heal ourselves, to recognize that if we have a response in ourselves, we can literally learn to change that. We're not stuck with something just because we inherited it. We're not stuck with something because a past experience happened. We literally can say yes to ourselves. So guys, magical, magical reading for Scorpio season. I think it's going to be a busy month for you guys. I think a lot's going to happen. But yeah, the message is really clear. This is a month of opportunities for you. They may come in the form of disruption, but the purpose of that is that it allows you to travel inwards and actually to fundamentally address something that you need to let go of. It's interesting, in a lot of the other readings I've been speaking about your new moon, you know, this new moon in Scorpio. It's not just about setting intentions for the future. The new moon is always a time of setting intentions. It's a wonderful energy to do that. But the new moon in Scorpio is also an opportunity to set intentions to let go of anything that no longer serves us, anything that is blocking us, anything that's in the way of our movement forwards. Magnificent month for you guys with so much opportunity. So much opportunity, and you get to heal something here, and it just frees things up. It's literally almost like you take off a coat you've been wearing, and the universe says, right, okay, that's brilliant. That coat was shielding you from receiving what you really wanted. Now you're open to receive. Guys, I'm really looking forward to doing next month's reading and seeing where you guys are at. This is stunning, really, really beautiful. Guys, so much love to you. If you want notifications of the readings as I post them, the weekly ones and any in-betweenies, do just subscribe, and of course press the little bell icon as well. And as I said at the beginning of the reading, check out the information box for the other free stuff that I do. So much love to you guys, so much love.